it's Alexis Murray here from my communications class. I chose to do my informational presentation on the first phone and how it is now today. So there's like a big, huge difference, I think. Imagine talking to somebody back in the day with no phone. I feel like that'd be insane because I need to talk to somebody because it would take days and I'd already forget what I said. I feel like I'm very credible for this topic because I have a phone. Everybody in this class should have a phone. And maybe me personally, I want to learn about how it was back then. Maybe y'all would want to learn about how it was back then, to like in the middle of then and now, and then how it is now today, which I thought was very interesting. I feel like the big purpose of this is to explore how the phones have changed through the time, which is very interesting to me. I personally think it's very cool. And my grandma has like an antique phone, like the little dialy ones, so that's why I thought this topic was very interesting. First, we'll get into how the phone was invented, who invented it, why, and then we'll get into the phones in the 1970s to the 2000 times, and then finally we'll get into phones now today, and hopefully everybody knows what the phones are today, but I'm sure everybody does. First, we're going to get into the invention of the phone. Sorry guys. It was built in 1876 by Alexander Graham Bell, and he invented it to send voice things through the wires, and I thought that was very interesting. I feel like it matters because it changed how people communicated forever. Like now today, if we didn't have that, I don't know what I'd do. So there was obviously many trials and errors, and I thought it was very cool that he figured out that we could talk through wires. Very interesting. Fun fact, he was also a teacher, which that might be great to know. So the second big reason was the phones through the 1970s to the 2000s. They were like, early mobile phones were like big, bulky, and very, very expensive because that was like the brand new thing. Everybody was wanting it. So they started out like with the dialy thingies, and then like ones that also connected to like an audio like tape box thing. I wish I could show photos, but I don't know how to do that. The advancements is they had cordless phone, pagers, early mobile technology, and then it started becoming a daily thing in the life. If you like watch Saved by the Bell and stuff like that, you'll see that they use it almost every day. So, and then once we get into like the early like 1990s, 2000s, they had the phones that like flipped, and they had flip phones, so they could like carry it everywhere with them, and I thought that was really very interesting in my opinion. So let's get on to how the phones are now today. We have name brand phones like iPhone, Samsung, Google Pixel. There's so much more. There's a lot. I really couldn't even tell you. But now we have touch screens. We have internet access. We have apps we can have, which they didn't have apps, but they could still text and like take pictures, but it was not very good quality. So now we have like good quality photos, and then it changed the way we work and live. It changed everything, honestly, I think. And then we also have social media. We have GPS, which phones didn't have. They just had the big maps back then, which is a game changer for me because I never know where I'm going. Then they also had texting, which in the 1990s to the 2000s, they had the little tiny one, but you'd have to text to the numbers and click till you got to the letter, which is still insane. And then for the conclusion, we're going to go into how Graham Bell made that invention, which is I'm very thankful because he did it through the wires, and how the phones have become a long way. They have changed in so many ways. The first mobile phone was in 1973, and it was just like the little flip phone. It wasn't nothing too big or interesting, but I still think that's very, very interesting. The 3 fun facts is the first text message said Merry Christmas, which I thought that was very cool. And then today's smartphones are more powerful than computers. Used more on land on the moon. And going more into that, I know I said conclusion, but if it wasn't from Abraham Graham Bell, where would we be today? Would we just now be figuring out how scientists work? Scientists figuring out the phones? Would it be, how much longer would it take? But I'm so thankful. And then we also have cameras now. I thought that was very interesting. So thank you for watching. What kind of phones do y'all have? I'd like to know.